Mr. Kudus, we were told price of crude on the world market, it had dropped in the last few weeks. And so for most Ghanaians, no more shade name say, I'm could do pump first pricing window now. They would expect to see prices up or down. As we speak, the prices, interestingly, have skyrocketed from some 10.99 into the 11s. What has caused rise and increase now here pump now?
That's na maminchia woni utie for nyina. Na petro asem na nye straightforward says and then when who say crude prices are costly na the same implication is in Ghana and at Bafoma na one implication and yet straightforward because and yet crude nkwana yeto and in fact because your refineries our Ghana one omo ishada enye juma ana the capacity no and the level to which they can meet the consuming needs of the Ghanaian public no do no omo the refined products no omo the eba Omon talk crude. And this is kwa BDC or kwa top petrol kwa this or kwa maybe or top diesel kwa and it is a refined product, not the crude. And their pricing dynamics are different. So Uber talk crude there, that one is standardized. But diesel any petrol, the pricing dynamics are different. So let me explain diesel, for example.
Okay.
Diesel, the needs of Europe were being met by about 40% from the supply of Russia. And the war in Ukraine, between Russia and Ukraine, and then the subsequent sanctions are taking off that 40%. The Europe from Russia, and it then means that the commodity that is left, or the quantity that is left for the Europe and for that matter the rest of the world, outperform. And the basic economics will tell you, or will tell us all of us that anytime supplies actually fall, prices are likely to go up because there would be a rush for the scarce commodity. And diesel in the last window across, even though crude on the world market outperform. And like I said, most of the BDCs, about 90% of the consumption that we have, finished product, already extra about from what do you call the outside the country, and your crude. So if you look at the movement of the prices of diesel from the last window to the current window, and it has gone up because of the shortage of supply that Russia, the part of Russia that is supposed to always come into the market that is not coming, and the Acoso. So when I saw a projection by one of the oil NGOs suggesting that prices should be coming down between 8 and 4%, frankly, my heart jumped because I knew that that was a misleading statement to actually make. Because it is not crude that we buy into the country, it is the finished product. So even though the crude on the world market would have gone down, you should also be checking, has the finished product gone down or gone up or remain same? Then you can make your projection. So that was the issue that actually confronted all of us. But the truth of the matter is that on the world market, now finished products, the prices are also. But petrol, apart from kakra, the price of petrol on the world market came down a little. But Mami, Ensa, and KBB, you see, two things mainly affect the push of the price of this product. One is their prices on the international market, and then two is the exchange rate. So if the price actually reduces, but the exchange rate of the CD depreciated against the dollar, you are likely not to see the impact, because the two and driving the price. Okay, and then another critical component that has come into the frame now that used not to be there is the cost of transport. And also, for some unexplained reason, it keeps going up when you speak to the BDs. And the present dynamics, and that's straightforward. That's why we, on our part as NPA, we are speculating on changes of prices at all. We just want you to go there because the commodity and its pricing public, and yes, you go and hide somewhere and buy something. So when you go to buy from a source, we know how much you bought it. We know how much it costs you to get the dollar to go and bring it. We know how much it costs you to transport the product into the country. Then together we can determine how much you should be selling the product. And to share the amended act of the NPA in 2015, which now took pricing away from NPA and gave it to the private sector. What NPA is supposed to always do is that to ensure that the prices are fairly determined and the consumer is not shortchanged or overcharged or overpriced. And so that is what we basically do. So, Ms. Reka, it's not that straightforward that because crude has actually come down, then automatically the prices of the product should be coming down. And yes, that's straightforward.
Mr. Kudus, say it's not straightforward. But the arguments that has been advanced on most occasions, and they say there's one variable that is beyond the control of anybody, that is the world market price. And indeed, OSHA, the last pricing window before this one, crude was selling at about $124 per barrel. In the last few weeks, in the run-up or in the lead-up to latest pricing window, we had seen a significant drop to about $116 per barrel. Now, it's further dropped to $113 per barrel. And as a Ghanaians are confused, kakra, because definitely when the price of crude reduces, the ex-refinery price also should reduce slightly because of gains as far as purchasing crude are concerned. And as an explanation now, the Abano Ghana for say, confused kakra.
Okay, my main entry of you, because the data I have, the price of crude for the last window of
the middle of June
was 122 US dollars, 122.72.
Yeah,
that was the price of crude per barrel. And this latest window that we are now seeing a different pricing regime, 121.77. So, and yes, significant from 122 to 121.
But I know will not be a true reflection of what the world market price is, because before this particular pricing window, now a worldwide figure, Obianim said it was around 116 for Brent and 113 for WTI.
So now, well, I'm speaking from the data that my planning department regularly supplies us with.
Okay, very well.
Our department that monitors this, and then so when you look at the newspapers, we even publish the price indicators. Okay. Every day we are publishing them, and to share ABR, any of the papers in front of you, either Finder, Times, Graphic, Chronicle, you would see that we publish the price indicators.
Okay.
As it is on the world market. So, and that is the same thing I have in front of me here.
Okay.
And it is, what do you call, the changes were not that significant. But I'm saying that we observed that there was a slight drop.
Okay.
And that slight drop ordinarily should occasion a slight drop at the pump.
That's correct.
But like I explained, and permit me to really do more of the English and the Chi.
Okay.
Because I find a little comfort there.
Okay,
this change does not reflect at the pump because apart from the price out there, there are other variables that also adds up in the determination. That's why I mentioned the issue of the forex too. And the issue of forex has a significant and immediate impact, even than the price of the product on the international market. So when the two don't fall together, and one falls and one rises, particularly if the price on the international market falls, and then this one, the forex rises, it could take away the expected gain at the pump. But in this particular instance, at least fortunately for us, the CD has been fairly stable, even though marginally depreciated, not too significant. But I'm saying that there are so many variables that go into the determination of the price. A lot of the time, and currently as we speak, if you probably could even speak to these OMCs, particularly those who are having the pump stations and selling across, a lot of them currently are making losses. A lot of them are making losses. Most are even just breaking even because they don't want to get out of business. Because the cost of the product regularly is going up. And to be able to maintain your customers, you need to price at a certain level. And that is where I think deregulation has even helped us so well in this particular instance. Because the competition, the prices usually were determined by the NPA. And the people who come and say that, look, the prices are not good and then my margins are going down, I'm not getting anything in return, so please increase my margin for me. Just like labor would come to government and say that, look, things are not good, increase minimum wage. And then government will rush and increase. So NPA used to determine the margins that the OMCs were supposed to get in return for their investment. But since the deregulation, it is now they are in their hands to determine how much they should charge their margin. And because of the competition, they are careful not to be able to charge because everybody looks mostly up to oil. If you sell beyond oil, you might not get a customer. And I think regulation has been a certain check on the prices at which it should have been going up, particularly on the level of their margin. So I just wanted to say that it is not straightforward that when crude comes down, automatically it comes, because a lot of the products that we consume in Ghana are finished products. And when you always check on the world market, the finished products, their pricing are also different from the crude. So you see oil, diesel is different, gas is different, petrol is different. If it was that we're having all the products actually refined in Ghana, then that is where we probably should be expecting a certain trigger. But we are not having the refinery in Ghana. And even with the refineries that we have in Ghana here, the capacity that they produce, at best, they can meet about 40% of our needs.
Mohammed,
so that's the dynamics here.
Mohammed Kudus, Medasi Anope for joining us on the Happy Morning Show.